Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Today we are going to use this bucket for the first time, and I'm pretty excited about it, to tell you the truth. This is a Werk Brau 4-foot tilt bucket. I got it off the pallet last night. I haven't used it yet. Minimal assembly required. All I had to do was put these two hoses on and quick couplers, and these hoses appear to be the proper length, and they are swivel. So as you dump and curl the bucket, you don't have to worry about anything, pinching or binding. Everything came greased and ready to go, and I have the perfect place to try this out. Now I think we are going to have to make one adjustment though before we get started. See this sticker right here? Maximum 3000 PSI, set flow to operate smoothly. Flow is too high if slamming. So my auxiliary hydraulics, I haven't touched them actually. They are set to max flow, which is what I use like for the log splitter. If you were using a forestry mulcher or a flail mower, you want max flow. But for something like this, I have a feeling it's going to tilt way faster than we want until we adjust that pressure. So we're going to fire it up here. I'm going to swing you out of the sun so we can see that screen. That should work. Alright, so I'm going to turn my auxiliary hydraulics on. Now this one over here on this side, this controls the thumb, which still operates with the tilt bucket on. And then I have another set of hydraulic lines on the stick there that are going to control the tilt bucket. That is this one right here. All right, now we're going to try it out, see how fast it tilts. Way too fast. See how it's real jerky? You don't want it to go that fast at all. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come down here to our screen. We'll hit menu, and you can scroll down right here with this button. Auxiliary flow. We're going to hit enter, and then this shows your toggle on the left joystick. This one shows it on the right. This will lower your pressure right here, or your flow, and this will increase it. You can see that little arrow flashing. So what we're going to do, we're going to lower that pressure almost all the way down. Maybe one more. And then we're going to switch to this one here. We can use this arrow right here. It went over to the right. Okay, now we can go down on this one. I guess you can just hold it. There. That should do it. Now let's try it. Hardly anything. We got to turn it up just a bit. Oh yeah. That's perfect right there. You don't need it to go real fast, and that's nice and slow and smooth. Not real jerky at all. That's perfect. I actually think I had it turned all the way off, but I got it up just one click right there, and that's all you need. And I think with this I can do different settings where I can just hit a button for, where I like to run the log splitter or where I want to run this. But yeah, I like that. So we're going to head down to my sister's driveway, which will be the perfect place to test this out. I haven't done any serious work down there since last year, and she's a real long driveway. A lot of problems with water. There's some soft spots on the driveway. We got it fixed up pretty well last year, but the water is creeping back out onto the driveway, and I'd like to get that taken care of before winter time. And this bucket is just going to shine. Once we get down there, I'll explain all the benefits of a tilt bucket, at least what I think they are. I've never used one before, But all I can say is the flat earthers are wrong. The earth isn't flat, and that's why you need one of these tilt buckets. All right, we're down here on my sister's driveway, and as I have mentioned before, it's a very long driveway. We're at about the midway point right here, and we're gonna get started right about where the machine's sitting. I installed a new culvert pipe there last fall, but from there up, I need to rework this ditch. In places, it's not too bad, and others, it's pretty much non-existent. And like I said, if you don't keep the water in the ditch, it gets out on the driveway, creates erosion channels, and keeps the driveway soft, and it just gets progressively worse. A lot of it just has a small lip in between the driveway and the ditch, which kind of keeps the water, you know, on the driveway. Some of it doesn't require much work. But as you get up there around that turn, there's a lot of clay in that area right there, and it pumps. And there is no ditch line up there. Matter of fact, it's probably 8 inches or a foot higher than the driveway. So we'll definitely have to do a bunch of work up there. All right, we're gonna get started here. Now I have a 4-foot grading bucket. You know, it doesn't tilt. So if I had it on, it would look something, I gotta turn the auxiliary hydraulics on. You know, it looks something like that, right about there, okay? Now if I wanted to clean this ditch out, over on that side where I want to clean out, the bucket is not touching the ground, but this left side sitting in the cab is. That's not what you want. So with this, I can go like so and get it exactly where I want it. Now what I find myself doing with my regular 4-foot grading bucket, I would sit as far as I could across the driveway and clean the ditch out, you know, perpendicular. And that works okay, but it's sometimes hard to get far enough away from it. So what we're going to do, we're going to offset the boom like so. And I won't even really have to get into the trees or anything with the machine. I can just run right up the side of the driveway like this. Now keep in mind, it's my first time ever using this thing. I know first off, I have to take my reading glasses off because I'm all jacked up here with them on. What I'll do, I'll kind of pull a pile up with me and then get rid of it every once in a while when I have an opening on the other side of the driveway. Oh man, this thing is a game changer. Wow, this is going to be nice. No joke. I'm going to tilt it a little bit more, I think. There's 10 feet of ditch, like in half a minute. That is a beautiful thing, my friends. All right, I already learned something else. I'll show you. So I've been leaving a bit of a windrow on the bank, which isn't a big deal. All right, but we can get that as well. First we'll clean off the driveway. And we'll come over here to the bank. We'll kind of clean that up as well. Beautiful. Now, if you had a driveway without like this big bank on the one side, you really wouldn't need one of these, you know, just to clean out ditches. But your options are kind of limited. Without this. I mean, you can do it, just would take so much longer, and you can't do as good of a job as you can with this thing right here. My goodness. What's nice is I'm sitting pretty much in the middle of the driveway, so you know I'm not scraping up against all the trees and all that. Alright, I have learned kind of a 4 or 5 step process here to do the best job. First thing you do, just kind of rough it in and get rid of that bucket of dirt. Like I've got plenty of room on this side. Then I'm going to flatten my bucket out, clean off the driveway on this side. Then I'm going to tilt it this way, clean the bank off, like so, and then kind of a final cleanup and degrade back to the original. Like so. I don't know if that was 4 or 5 steps, but that seems to be working. We'll do that one more time. First, kind of hog a bucket out, get it close. Like so. Flatten the bucket out a bit, clean up the driveway. And when I'm all done, I can bring the land plane down here and dress it up. Then clean off the bank. And back to the original for the final pass. That's a beautiful thing. If you can't already tell, I'm pretty excited about this. When I worked like heavy highway construction, you know, I was mostly a blaster, and the company that I worked for, they moved major amounts of dirt, but the owner was never really into stuff like this. And I mean, even like quick couplers. I remember having to switch from like a hoe ram to a bucket on, you know, big cat excavators between shifts, and he didn't like the quick couplers. And I think the only reason is they had so many employees, you know, afraid people were going to screw stuff up or something. I don't know. They really knew how to move dirt, but they did not like the latest and greatest in technology. So I was never really used to that. You always just kind of made do with what they had to use. That one excavator, I was working at that landfill that I go to today. We were using it to borrow sand rock for a road job down the road, and I would drill and shoot there, and then we would haul that rock over to this road job. Well, during the day, the big excavator, I forget what size cat it was used to load triaxles, dozens of triaxle trucks. And then at night, the night shift guy was sizing the rock. I would blast it, but you would still have, you know, different size rock, and it kind of had to be sized. So he would size it with the hoe ram, and every day when I was done working, I would have to switch that hoe ram, or switch the bucket to the hoe ram, and then come in first thing in the morning and do it again. And sometimes it was like literally a 10-minute deal, and other times, if something just wasn't right, it may take an hour. Driving those pins and all that, it was a pain in the neck. Man, this is so nice. I mean, I can't get over this. For this type of stuff right here. Because with a regular 4-foot grading bucket, you know, it's sitting like your tracks are. Now you can, you know, lift one end of the machine up with the blade, but that only works kind of one way. You know what I'm saying? This thing here, my goodness. This is just, I forgot to clean the driveway off on that one. Look at the leaves falling. I literally can't contain my excitement. I just called Melissa. I said, hey, you gotta come down and see this. I don't think she'll be quite as excited as I am, but she should be. So it's kind of hard to see with all the weeds, actually the Japanese stilt grass. But see, there's like a windrow right there. As you drive on the driveway, that stuff gets pushed up, and there's still a little bit of a ditch line behind it, but that's not allowing the water to go from the driveway into the ditch. And it just gets worse as we go up the driveway.
excited.
So Melissa came down because I told her, you know, I can't contain my excitement. What do you think?
It's exciting. It's very exciting. I'm just bursting with excitement. I am.
I think you're being a little sarcastic.
No, really, I can't believe it. It is everything that you wanted to do in that situation.
Okay, I only started about half hour, 45 minutes ago, but just in that short amount of time, I have gotten way more faster and way more efficient with this thing. I'm into some rock right here, so that's slowing me down just a bit, but not too bad. Yeah, not only faster and more efficient, but a lot better job as well. This thing is just, see, that rock kind of screws you up there a little bit. You got a nice grade going, and then you pull out a big goonie or something. I know one thing, if anybody is in the market for a regular 4-foot grading bucket, I'm probably going to have one for sale. It's a great bucket, but compared to this thing, what a difference. It's probably kind of hard to see with the sun coming down through these trees here, but we're out of that sand rock and we're right into this nasty clay right here, which is why, see how this pumped up right here? I mean, that's a foot higher than the driveway, and it's just soft muck. I mean, there's some stone mixed in with it that came off the driveway, but I need to clean all that out. And if I get up there about another 50 feet, we get out of this clay, and it's actually pretty good after that. So we're gonna finish up this section right here. And this one spot in the driveway right here, I think if I just got one load, you know, just 4 ton of number 3 rock in here after I get that cleaned out, it should be pretty good shape. Whenever I'm down here working on this driveway, there's always comments asking like why I don't put geotextile down. I love using that stuff, but for here, you know, you need a good 6 inches of stone on top of it. And for a driveway this long, I mean, you're probably looking at $20,000 worth of stone. It's just kind of what it is. You know what I mean? You have to do maintenance on driveways like this, really no matter what you do. Heck, on Interstate 79, they've been working on it for 20 years. But yeah, you just got to do some maintenance now and then. I got about 500 feet of ditch done there. I've been down here working probably 2 hours, and I noticed the more I do it, the faster and the more efficient and the better job I do. I'm still getting used to it, but that's a beautiful ditch right there. That's really nice. I just kind of backbladed everything in one push with the blade on the excavator, but that really worked good. I like it a lot. It's one of those things, the more you run it, you find little tips and tricks, and you realize it's way more capable than you originally thought, and it just takes a little bit of practice. But so far, I love the Werk Brau Tilt Bucket. I really do. And I don't know if I mentioned before, that's the same company that makes the rake that I have. People are always asking about that rake. Werk Brau, if anyone is looking for something like that. And also, if anyone's looking for a 4-foot grading bucket for that 57, I may be selling it. I don't think I'll ever use it again since I have this. But I think that's about it for today's video. Appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.